to what we thought was going to be the big one, and it could still be 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Eagles at Dallas Cowboys. Eagles 13-1, 7-0 on the road. Cowboys 10-4, 7-1 at home. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. And of course, the big news surrounding this game is, will Jalen Hurts be under center for the Eagles? We thought he wasn't going to be, but Sirianni certainly didn't cross it out. He didn't rule Hurts out this weekend, and he says it's not a long-term issue, and is interested in I am interested to see what Gardner Minshew can do if he's there. And Dallas Goedert is returning, activated off the injured list on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Andy already alluded to the ability for the pros to get in early and how some people are holding the Cowboys -1. It opened up at Pinnacle at -2. It's now at 5.5. It got up to 6. And then it dropped to 5. It's at 5, basically. The 5.5 is a big plus minus. So it's at 5. It's called 5. From a total perspective, it opened up at 50.5 and has dropped to 46. That was the drop with the injury news. It went from 50.5 to 46, 4.5 points when Hurts was not going to be available. Let's take a look at the cash flow in Sky Dragon saying Hurts will not play. I know that's what everybody expected, and that, but yeah, Minshew is the one who's expected to be on the center. 11,558 tickets. Tickets in. 67% of the tickets and 81% of the cash is on the Eagles. 67% of the tickets and 79% of the cash is on the under. So Eagles coming off an underwhelming 25-20 win at Chicago on Sunday. Hurts didn't miss a snap. 22 of 37, 315 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, ran 17 times for 61 yards, 3 touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns. So he's one short of the NFL record held by Cam Newton during Newton's rookie year in 2011. A.J. Brown caught 9 for 181. What a beast he is. What a monster. Just a bully. He's incredible. Devonta Smith caught 5 for 126. God, they're just so strong outside. Miles Sanders ran 11 times for 42 yards and lost a fumble. He didn't look very good. The defense was able to put a lot of pressure, on Fields, and they finished with 6 sacks, and they held the Bears to 248 total yards. Cowboys had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 40-34 overtime loss at Jacksonville. Andy gave out the over in the show. I rode with the over and Jacksonville. Felt real goddamn good. It's becoming more and more clear that the Cowboys defense is suspect. So the Jaguars put up 503 total yards, went 8 of 12 on third down, and went 3 of 4 in the red zone. Dak Prescott was 23 for 30 for 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. The last interception returned by Rayshon Jenkins for a score. CeeDee Lamb caught 7 for 126. Noah Brown caught 6 for 49, 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard, another great game, 19 carries, 75 yards, caught 4 for 31. Zeke ran 16 for 58 and touchdown, caught 2 for 13. The defense couldn't put pressure on Trevor Lawrence even after they lost Cameron Robinson to a torn meniscus. Cowboys finished 1 sack, 4 quarterback hits, only had 2 tackles for a loss all game. It didn't help that Leighton Vander Esch got hurt in the first half. With him out, Anthony Barr looked bad. He filled the wrong gap against the run. He was overwhelmed in coverage. And Vander Esch is crucial to the defense because he allows Micah Parsons to focus on the pass rush. I said on last week's show how losing Anthony Brown, was a big deal, and that Kelvin Joseph struggles replacing him. And that was when the guy commented that he scream laughed when I said that. And obviously, with how bad the Cowboys defense looked and how Kelvin Joseph got burnt again, I could have come back and commented and rested my ball sack on the bridge of his nose. I didn't bother replying to him. I'm not going to bother. But I thought of some funny things to say, and I just thought, fucking just leave it alone.
I always do that too, and then I always feel bad. Like, do I really go find that YouTube comment on a video from 5 days ago and be like, "Hey, the Ravens suck"?
Yeah,
something like that.
But it was backed up. Not only that, though, but the comment was he makes comment, and then it's being backed up by other Cowboy fans. How I'm just a fucking idiot. Don't have any idea what's going on. If I think that Anthony Brown was important in this defense and all that stuff, and then they allow 500 yards and get completely torched, and Kelvin Joseph looks terrible. And so that was what kind of I was like, I was sitting at a fucking Canadian Tire, and I was just like all these things in my head to say, and I was like,
how many dollars do you have there? Do they
I
still
don't.
do the Canadian
No,
Tire dollars?
they still do them, but I don't use them. I don't care. But let's go back to this spot here. The Cowboys, should they be this big of a favorite against the Eagles with Minshew likely at quarterback? Take it away for us, my man. Eagles, Cowboys.
So I will agree with whoever said it in the chat that 6 is probably an overreaction, but I think it goes back there at some point, and I think you continue to see resistance at that 6. I know we've seen it come back down, bunch of Eagles money. I wonder how much of that was people who got Dallas early. When I looked at this line on Sunday, I said, man, I'll probably take Eagles money line. If I'm going to get plus money here. It's a beat up secondary, it's a beat up defense. I think they can kind of get their shit done. But the Hurts news was big. I was able to get that early, bet some Cowboys. And I remember betting that Cowboys thinking, I'm coming back on the Eagles here. I said, I'm making this bet, knowing damn well I'm betting both sides of this. I haven't yet. I'm fully willing to, have to bet some 4.5 if that's what comes down to. But I do think once it actually comes out and they make the full ass announcement, Jalen Hurts is not going to play this weekend. We do see it move out a little bit further and you're able to get some decent numbers, not because it should, but because it's moving across weak numbers. It's not moving from 6.5 to 7.5. It's moving across to 5. These aren't super important numbers. It's not a big move if you actually look at the money line prices that correlate with like a 4 to a 6. It's akin to like a 3 to a 3.5. It's not a big move. So I'm hoping I can get another 6 here. It would be great. And I don't ever want to be like, I'm staking my reputation on this, but I have it from 2 very decent sources that this is just gamesmanship. Hurts is 100% out. Like that makes sense too. Even if it wasn't from a good source, it'd be like, well, yeah, they're a division opponent. Why would you let them sit and prep for Gardner Minshew all week when you don't have to? So for sure, I'm nearly certain Jalen Hurts is out this week. There is talk of even possibly missing next week, which I don't feel super confident in. But that said, I'm not betting this at the current number. I have some Eagles, or I have some Cowboys early. I have some Eagles late coming in, I think, and that's the plan.
And from a total perspective here, 46. I mean, it feels low even with Minshew.
Yeah. You still have a good run game. You still have a good run scheme. You still have A.J. Brown. The Cowboys offense is not devoid of talent. So, yeah, Sky Dragon, he's kind of in the same spot. -2.5 and +5. Like that. Boy, if Cowboys win by 3, then you go buy an island. It's fun.
So why wouldn't we move on the over right now? Does it drop even more when they announce?
I think maybe I think it continues to drop down with Minshew, and it might go too far considering this Dallas defense is beat up. And not only that, I'm plenty involved in this. Like I've made a bet on this game, and I'm already planning on making another bet. I'm not sure I need to get involved in this total as well.
Well, I want in on the over. I think Cowboys overs are just until they give us a sign, especially with Van Der Esch out. I mean, Micah Parsons not going to be able to focus solely on the pass rush anymore, and I think the Cowboys games are just. I mean, I don't want to get carried away. I almost had a license to print money. Maybe I shouldn't get that carried away, but I think they're the best over team in the NFL. They've supplanted the Chicago Bears, so I want the over. So, do you think that this could drop below 46?
I do think it drops a little further with when Hurts is announced out.
Okay,
but who knows when they decide to do that? Who knows how long they run with this ruse, Jimmy? Because I would drag it out all week. It's the Cowboys. Like if you're an Eagles fan, F the Cowboys, right?
Sky Dragon said he played the under 2. At what number, Sky Dragon? Because this isn't about me not. I mean, I trust the Cowboys offense. Fine. I think that Dak Prescott's capable of, we've seen him. He can make mistakes. But I think that having
truthfully, that pass in overtime was a good pass.
Yeah, it was unlucky there on Dak, but the running game is really strong, which of course opens up CD and then they have tight ends that play a big part. So I want the over. I want the over. I'm going to be betting the over. So I'm going to wait and be patient. Todd Hilton saying Pollard could have a huge day. So I want the over. And then I'll be then I'll move on the over and the Eagles team total over as soon as it's announced, and maybe it drops a little bit more. So those are two bets that will be on my card come Saturday, the over and the Eagles team total over. All right, let's roll on.